preferred. Bereket, do you know how to make the sharing the screen using the audio is option? There is audio option.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's important for you,
your
okay. Videos.
Okay.
So this is the schedule, and I found that I could not finish up my design procedure slide 1, but there is another one, design procedure 2. So we may have a, so probably Bereket may, I don't know whether you can start today. Probably yes, but I don't know. Right, this is 7th class. So let me, do you have any question on previous classes or any other? No question. Then we can move on to, this is a slide set for design, ship design procedure 1. Okay. I guess I stopped around SOLAS, right? Engine economics. I finished up this one, Tendai. And here, this is a new slide. So I can start from here. Okay. So this one shows you regulations, rules, which as a designer, you need check and follow. So it can be a constraint to your design, freedom, right? Because there is a, SOLAS is some safety, and ME403 is a pollution, and load line is also safety and capacity of the cargo. So there are different rules that should be obeyed. Very similar to, there are many rules against building a house or making a car or operating a car, driving a car. There are many regulations that you should follow. Very similar. There are many regulations which should be met by the ship operator, owner, and designer and builders. Right, so the design environment, the surroundings around the design work, there is a market trend. So nowadays, what is the market trend for the ship design? Pollution. Pollution is important, especially the CO2 gas emission from the ship. There are many regulation limitations to enter a certain port in, say, Los Angeles or Amsterdam or Shanghai port. Each port has their own regulations, so you need to know that. And also market trend, because of the COVID or Corona pandemic, there are different situations nowadays, right? So that cargo movement between continent, there was a very low 1 year ago. Nowadays, there are so many, so that you may see that the container traffic is very high nowadays. And so that the fare, the fee to charge to send the container box to from Seoul to, say, Amsterdam, it is, the price is doubling now, double than 1 year ago. Government policy, regulation, international regulation, pollution, environment. So ME403 is a marine pollution something. And double hull tanker rule. Double hull means the hull is the outmost skin of the ship. We call this the hull. Also internal structure is hull, but they are saying double skin. double skin. Double hull tanker means double skin tanker. So when ship has accident, there can be a puncture. The hole can be make along the skin of the ship. You may think about Titanic film. That is also disaster. The passenger ship called Titanic has a hit by a iceberg. That there is a puncture, hole is happening at the bottom of the ship, so that seawater is coming into the Titanic ship, and it gradually, slowly sink down to the sea. That is the main story of the film. Or story? It was a real situation, not only story. Right? There was a real accident at that time, 100 years ago. But for the oil tanker, if you have a hole by accident, there can be oil leak. Oil can be spread out from the ship outside of ocean, so that pollution can happen. So the SOLAS is made started due to Titanic accident, but that was already 100 years ago, around 1910. So that it takes 60 years to make that regulation. And equipment vendor base means for the cruise ship, battleship, ocean plant, there are so many equipment on board the ship, on board the plant. Say, but battleship, so many guns and engine and radar and boiler, many things. Right? So equipment is provided by a manufacturer. They are called as a vendor. So equipment manufacturer, they should follow some certain rule to make the whole ship is safe and not pollution making. And then also there is a ship owner preference. The ship owner requires some special item to be assembled into the ship. Say something like when I build my home at the town, I choose to have say special chandelier or special toilet equipment. That happen in say luxury cruise or yacht. The ship owner has his own preference to be inside the ship. So designer should know about this. And management organization, who is the design company? There is a separate company or design agent. We need to know about this. Exxon Valdez, it was a big accident near the Alaska. Alaska is a northeast corner of North America, right? But that is belongs to the United States. And at the time, there was no double skin rule for the oil tanker. So that accident happened in, oh, this is not right, Alaska, right? Prince William, Alaska. But the map looks different. It is shown from the north to the south, upside down. Anyway, sea otters and bald eagles and orcas has killed. Estimated deaths. And what are the other statistics? And money, 2 billion, 44 billion. So it is a big pollution disaster. So because of this situation, there was a double hull skin tanker rule regulation is uploaded into the SOLAS rule. Now we have a new rule on pollution. ME403, marine pollution. annex the requirement on fuel sulfur containment or limitation. So sulfur percentage and year. So now we are in 2021, right? So now is almost the new era, new years by ME403 pollution regulation. It started 20 years ago. The limitation on SOx, sulfur, and also global is total lower down drastically. So that what happened to your new ship design, you should have a new equipment to lower down this sulfur containment from your ship. And this is a well-known aircraft carrier. And you see that in right up corner, there is a gallery deck, and number 2 deck, number 1 deck, main hangar deck. Hangar deck means there are many jet airplanes are located inside the storage. And the other is there is an engine room at the bottom. And this engine should be the nuclear power plant. So there is a top view. There is air takeoff. So some kind of airport, right? Floating airport. All right. That's it for number 1. Question? Oh, there is some video, but I will not show you here today. Where is the video? How to build a cruise ship, how to build everything. Okay. If you don't have a question, then I can move on to second set of ship design procedure. And this is the book, chapter 4, second part. So second part contains equipment vendors, classification society, model basing, cost analysis, ship owner representative, and combat system for the Navy ship, acoustic analysis, reliability, human factors. And altogether, it should be a construction and production planning. You need to have a schedule to build a house, to build a ship. And design tools, what kind of method you are using. There is a database of previous designs. So Hyundai Shipbuilding Company, they started in 1972. So it is already 50 years of operation of a shipbuilding company itself. And nowadays they build about 60 ships per year because it is big shipbuilding company. 60 ships means every week. See, 1 year is made of 52 weeks or 54 weeks. But anyway, every week there should be at least 1 ship is delivered, completed. So it's a big number of ships are manufactured there. So altogether over 50 years, on average say 30 ships per year, 50 years. That means what? 1,500 ships already delivered. That is a big amount of previous designs. And also operational experience. The operation of ships of how many? 1,500 ships operating. And if you have sensors from each ship, the data is collected from, say, when I operate my car from home to KAIST every morning, in my car there is probably 30 or 50 sensors inside car. And in front of my driving seat, there are, say, 5 to 6 gauges: speedometer, RPM gauge, temperature gauge, electricity gauge, and road meters, how many kilometers I am running, etc. Right? And fuel gauge too, right? Temperature gauge. So those are, there should be sensors, and sensors send me a signal how to show me the status of the car, of my car. Similarly, airplane, train, and ship has many sensors inside, and they produce many signals to show the status of the ship operation, right? And saying, think about nuclear power plant. There should be 10,000, several tens of thousands sensors delivers information. So we can say these are big data. And IoT, you heard about this one in these days, Internet of Things. Those sensor data through the sensor network produce and delivers many big data to the operator. And the ship geometry, the shape of the ship in 3D, and performance analysis, performance evaluation using computer is very popular nowadays. So this is a Kawasaki Kisen Kaisha. It looks like a bulk carrier with a large hatch cover. And they are saying clean ballast tank and double hull. Double hull means outside there is one skin, and there is another internal skin, right? So we can say this is double skin. And the main central part is a cargo room, and there is a mineral. Mineral means this ship can carry ore, something, ore carrier or coal carrier. And then ballast tanks. Ballast tank is a water tank, which can be used for balancing the position of the ship when ship is full of the cargo and empty of cargo. There are two cases probably for this kind of ship. No in the middle case. Because say this ship can move to Australia to carry ore stones to the Korea or Japan or China. And then when they arrive to destination, they pump out all the ore stones to the port. And then ship is empty, and ship is returned to Australia again to load again, to move the more ores, right? So two trips to Australia to Korea, and one trip is full of cargoes, the other trip is empty of cargoes. So you need to balancing the position and depth of the ship using ballast tanks by using the waters inside. But now he's saying clean ballast tank means in old days, if you don't have such a double skin, then there is only one skin, outside skin. It means the cargo tank is used for holding ballast water together. Not together, but when the ship is empty, there is no core, no mineral, but the water is instead inside the cargo room, so that the ballast water is dirty, not clean, right? But in this ship, this is double skin ship, so that the cargo and ballast water is separated out, so that you can say this ballast water is clean of any mineral of cargo. There is the name is coming to. Design standard or regulations. there is a owner. Owner is a contractor, the customer. They have many requirements, basic requirements. Cargo capacity. I want to build a ship which can carry crude oil from Saudi Arabia to Busan of Korea of say 10,000 ton maximum, and speed can be 20 knots. Endurance is fixed because endurance means how long it can travel without fueling. So my car, the car needs say 400 kilometers before refueling gasoline. Similarly, any airplane, airship has such a number. Refueling before how many kilometers of trip. We call this is endurance. So that kind is a basic wish list from the customer. You can think about when you buy your say smartphone. What is your owner's requirement for your smartphone? In terms of screen size, in terms of buttons, in terms of weight, in terms of color or something. Right? That kind of thing, the basic wish list, we can say, owner's requirement of ship. And rules of classification society. So which classification society we should follow? American, Korean, Japan, China, Norway, France, or England? Which classification society rule? There are each rules. And also there is an international organization. They set up also standard and regulation. And health, safety, and pollution is important in these days. In short, which they are saying HSE. And also each country has their own safety regulations. So there is a saying government agencies. For example, USA, Navy has their own standard. NOAA is an atmospheric organization. Coast Guard is local police around coast, near beach, port. Questions? No?
Professor, I had a question.
Sure, go ahead. Yeah. Sure, go ahead. What is the question?
Why is it important to have an in-hull when there's no cargo?